My name is Immonen. I'm 31 years old. Been in England since I was 7 and grew up in sunny Slough. I would describe myself as bubbly. I wear my heart on my sleeve. What you see is what you get. I love just hanging out with my friends. I love keeping fit, going to the gym, and I am going to be rowing the Atlantic in just over a year's time to raise money and awareness on human trafficking. To be able to do such a big challenge, I'm training 4-5 days a week already, and this is a year in advance. Come a couple of months prior to this, I'll be in the gym 5 days a week, training about 4 hours a day. Just over 200 people who have rowed the Atlantic, so it's a very pioneering, a really new, crazy, adventurous kind of sport. I got really passionate about human trafficking a couple of years ago when I saw a VT all about human trafficking through the A21 campaign, and the stat of 27 million people in slavery. My jaw was literally on the floor. I couldn't believe that there were 27 million people in slavery and I knew nothing about it. People just don't know about it. And that's all the way through from your average person through to politicians now who I've been speaking to. Even some of them don't know anything about it. Being forced into prostitution or forced servitude, anything that is against your will, we all have a right to freedom, and being forced into slavery, whatever it be, is wrong. At first I didn't know what to do, so using sport to raise money awareness is such an amazing way and such a positive response to such an overwhelming issue. The whole point of doing this row is to raise money and awareness, and I want to see that money change people's lives ultimately and rehabilitate victims of trafficking. This row will take about 40 to 45 days, so rowing for 2 hours, off for 2 hours for about 40-45 days. These hands, you can look at them now because they're going to be raw and red and blistered by the end of it. I'm actually looking forward to the solitude of it. I can't wait to see creation at its rawest. The sun sets, the sun rises, and I can't wait to get to the other end, and it just is such a big challenge that just to have accomplished that, I think I could do anything after that. A really significant part of my journey with human trafficking was when I visited a safe house in Cape Town prior to the World Cup, and that was for trafficked women and children, where I learned of the demand that large sporting events such as this year's World Cup place upon trafficked victims. Just how souvenir sales go up and hot dog sales go up, so does the demand, sadly, for commercial sex. Hearing these stories firsthand just broke my heart. It made it so real. Slavery is rife, it's on our doorstep now, and we have to do something. Well, like everyone, we all have struggles, we all have things that, are tough in our lives. So for me, seeing my mum going through a breakdown this year, and at the moment she's in a psychiatric ward, training, going to work, going to church, keeping a balance and dealing with that is really tough. I was recently reminded of a story in the Bible, in the book of Nehemiah, who was having to fight with one hand while rebuilding with the other. And for me, I really feel like that's really significant because I'm trying to help my mum rebuild her life, and yet on the other side I'm fighting for this injustice of human trafficking. So balancing the two, it's hard, it's a struggle, it's tough, but it keeps me going because I think I want to see change in both these areas. Come hell or high water, I will not give up, because I think if these girls are being forced to do the most horrific things, then can I not push myself to the limits? You can use what you've got in your hand to make a difference. If you've got time, give time. If you've got money, give money. If you've got 2 hands and 2 feet, do something. Use sport against trafficking. So for me, it's just so important that we do something, because we can do something. I'm going to row for freedom, but whatever you enjoy doing, you could run for freedom, bike for freedom, skydive for freedom. Whatever you enjoy, why don't you do that for freedom? If you want to help me and literally get on board, you could join me in this Atlantic race in just over a year's time. I would love this to be a whole anti-trafficking boat, so if you want to get on board, then let me know. If you can't get on board literally, it would be amazing if you could sponsor me or spread the word about this row for freedom. When I get to the shores of Barbados, whatever state I'm in, if it makes a difference to one person, it'll all have been worth it.